All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the channel. It's about 7:30 this morning. Going to be another hot day. The whole country's in a heat wave here, so thought I'd get out here this morning and make the video before it gets too hot. Um, Kind of something I was thinking about here was uh, just it's interesting how YouTube works and how people think about it and stuff like that. So I was just going to kind of share a little bit more of my experience on here so far, and hopefully that kind of helps somebody else out that wants to do this. Maybe it resonates and sparks something in your mind about it. So I started doing YouTube a few months ago, had some false starts. I've posted some videos and I'm like, I don't like those. And I took them down and I, you know, posted some other ones and I'm like, I still don't like those, because a lot of I don't do a bunch of scripting or anything. I just take notes and I might have those. So everything kind of rolls off the top of my head. So in my earlier videos, there was a lot of pauses, ands, buts, and things like that. I just didn't like them, so I took them um, off of here, and I I think I found my flow. It's still not going to be perfect, but it's a little bit better as far as I'm concerned, and I hope it's better for anybody that wants to tune in and watch my content or my channel, however you want to say it. And I don't. Another thing is I don't do everything that the YouTube experts on here recommend. Um, all of that. Um, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I think anybody else can be concerned, right? It's all that thought of what's going on, it's all coming in telling you how to do things. And it's all kind of it's an energy, it's this thoughts that are coming in that create self-doubt, and they create kind of a negative environment that we're thinking in. And so that should all you should just push all that away and just do what you want to do on here. And regardless of what the quote unquote rules for doing YouTube are, I don't think there's any rules for doing YouTube. You just get on here and you make videos, and people tune in. That's it. That's it. That's how complicated it is. So that's all you got to do. That's the mindset you need. And so that's kind of how I'm approaching everything here. Um, and I think for the most part, I'm like, You know, I was also wondering what am I going to talk about on here. So I'll kind of share how I came to the conclusion of what my format was going to be. So let's say I know it gets discouraging for people, right? Like they feel like, oh, their channel's not going anywhere. They're posting videos and they're getting no views and no subscribers, things like this are happening. And that's happening for me as well. I mean, I've only been in this for a couple months, and it's no different for me. Nobody's really watching. I'm getting some watches here and there. I have 10 subscribers so far after 2 months, so that's pretty good. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Um, so you're this frustration, right? Your channel's not going anywhere. These videos that you are posting, maybe you're working hard on them, and nobody is tuning in. And I'll give you kind of my philosophy about that. As far as like channel going nowhere and things like this, it's like I kind of think of this, right? Like we're producing a show if you're on here, right? You're producing a show. You're putting out a TV show every couple days. And I mean, there has to be a reason, right, for people to want to watch it. Um, and so for myself, it's like, well, What's my reason? Why is somebody going to tune in to what I'm saying? You know, um, so the way I look at it is, if something is if something is really interesting me, I'm not just talking about me per se. I'm talking about maybe my philosophies and things like this, or something I'm doing, or my thoughts, right? But I don't think I'm just talking about me per se. I'm talking about stuff that's kind of interesting. And so if I find it interesting, which I do, then other people are going to find it interesting. There's an audience for everybody out there. There's an audience for what you're talking about. And like I said, there might be channels out there where everybody talks about the same thing, um, but we all put our own spin on it. We bring our own personalities to it. So maybe one channel that's talking about the same subject you're talking about, maybe that doesn't resonate with someone else because they don't connect with the person. But maybe your channel, where you talk about the same thing, it resonates with somebody. They connect with you. And that's what you want to build, is you want to build an audience, and you want to build that connection with that audience. And that's what I'm hoping to do, is have a nice little community here and have an audience. And that's my goal. And so that's kind of how I look at it, as far as what makes things work, why people would want to watch you, um, things like that. And another thing that I do is, I, don't let the success of others on YouTube here, don't let that discourage you. Don't let that negative thoughts, like, oh, these people are successful and I'm not. Don't let that cloud your mind. Don't let that creep in, um, and sort of start to alter the lens that you see things through. You got to push that away, um, because some people, they just get lucky. They make the right video. They do the right thing. I've seen videos on here where people have channels and they're talking about how they got successful, and it's like, there's people out there that within a week they became monetized. It's just hit or miss, and um, that happens for some, but for most of us, it does not happen that way. You're not going to be a successful, I guess, overnight, so to speak, right? It's not just going to happen like that. You can't expect it to, and you shouldn't be judging yourself by anybody else's success, when it comes to that regard. So that's another kind of philosophy that I have about doing this, how I'm thinking, and don't there's a lot of, right, the internet professionals, the internet experts. There's a lot of information about how to do YouTube, right? The steps you need to take, and what you should do and what you shouldn't do, and how you should post, and all this sort of thing, right? And my philosophy on that is, don't I'm not trying to fit into a mold. I'm not trying to be anything other than what I am. I'm not, you know, it, I'm not trying to fit any mold, or follow any rules. The rules in the mold are going to be the one that I decide to create. That's the rules, and that's the mold, the ones that I create for myself. I'm not trying to, like I said, I'm not trying to be anybody other than who I am. And I think that is a key for when you get on here, is you have to be genuine, and you have to be passionate about whatever it is you're talking about. Even if you're not talking about anything, even if you're a day in the life kind of person, which I kind of am, um, even if that's what you're talking about, you still have to have a passion for that, you know, um, in order for that to be sustainable on here, in order to constantly be able to post and have things you want to discuss, and for that to be a sustainable endeavor. I think you need to have a passion about what you're talking about, and it needs to be genuine. And that way, it just unfolds naturally for you. You're not trying to do anything. You're just being who you are. So I think those are the keys to success on here. um, I'm hoping that I can be successful. I don't really expect that I'm going to be some huge channel or anything, but it'd be nice to have a little community here. Get topics posted in the comment sections, things people want to talk about. An interaction going. That would be nice. That would be enjoyable. I would enjoy that. I'm enjoying this process of making videos, and so far, it's nothing's blowing up. I made lots and lots of videos, and you know, it, they've they've not taken off or anything. I mean, I have videos that I've m- made, and they've been on here for weeks and weeks, and nothing. Maybe 2 views or something. Um, but that's irrelevant to me as far as getting views and things like that. I'm doing this just because I want to do it, and I think you should do it just because you want to do it. You don't expect anything. When I came on here, I wasn't expecting views. I wasn't expecting subscribers, but I do have some views, and I do have 10 subscribers. Thank you guys again. So things are unfolding. In my view, it's just going to be a process. It's a slow process. For some people, it happens fast. For the most of us, it's not going to happen fast. And you know what? It may not even happen getting monetized and getting tons of subscribers and things like that. And that's okay too, um, for me, because I'm just doing this, and hopefully people tune in and follow me, and they also find what I talk about as interesting as I find it. So that's kind of my philosophy on everything on here. Like and subscribe. Check out my channel and my other content. If you do subscribe, um, turn on notifications so my videos go to you when I post new videos. And that is kind of where I'm going to leave it. Uh, I just encourage everybody, push away all those negative thoughts, push away all that self-doubt. Um, it Push away the thinking that this is complicated, and just get out there and do it. And that's good advice for being on YouTube, and that's good life advice too. That's kind of the same way I approach life. So I think that's the best attitude to have, the best outlook and philosophy about what you're gonna do and the endeavors you're gonna take on in life in general. So I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.